What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from Roaring Table Brewing, and they are out of Lake Zurich, Illinois, and this is their rice. So this is a Japanese style dry lager that comes in at 5.1% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. This can is approximately 6 weeks old. And I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Cameron, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with. And he hooked me up with 9 beers from the Midwestern region of the US. 2 of those are from Roaring Table. Now, I'm going to review both of the beers from Roaring Table today. You're going to see them today. This one will be posted in the morning, and then later on in the late afternoon, early evening, I'll be posting a review of their Bar and Grill, which is a Californian, they say California style double IPA. So we'll see what's up with that one. But I wanted to start with this one because A, it's lower ABV. And I want to see what this one's all about because it's a Japanese style dry lager, aka a Japanese rice lager, because this one is brewed with Jasmine rice. And you don't see a lot of American breweries kicking out Japanese rice lagers, especially packaging them, whether it's bottles or cans. I'm here for it. Now, the hops on this one on the side of the can, they say are Saz and Motueka, which I wouldn't have thought Motueka in this style, but whatever. Let's get into it. So, oh my God, look how light that is. And that's kind of what I expected. And me spilling it everywhere is also what I expected. Jesus. Well, I just think like some cans just are terrible. But it's really just me. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm like, oh, come on. I know how to pour a beer. I don't. Anyway, throw this over here. I like the can too. Simplistic, but really nice at the same time. So, Jesus Christ, that looks like you are very hydrated if you're using the toilet. Anyway, so yeah, that has this. This might be the lightest beer I've ever poured. And that goes for a lot of agile. This is like straight on a step above. It's like a step above water. Now, it's so light in terms of like a yellow golden color. It's ridiculous. It's like a straw golden color, even lighter than that. Had about a finger of a bright white soap sudsy looking head that's dissipated to like a half of a head, but hold it up to the light. Yeah, I mean, the clarity is fucking ridiculous. Like you can see everything through it. And I must admit, it looks nice in the glass, although the head retention, not as great as I would like it, but I feel like that happens a decent amount. But yeah, good carbonation, kind of plays the role of this style. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it just smells like a really nice light lager. Very grainy, bready, biscuity. It kind of almost reminds me of like a German Helles lager in terms of the complexities to the malt character, like the breadiness or like the grain is just very complex. Very pungent too. Getting a touch of like a nondescript orchard fruit. I couldn't really say apple or pear or anything like that. It's just something in that realm. Little zesty citrus note. And like this floral spiciness from the hops. Now, citrus is kind of reminding me of like lemon lime now. Motueka. Makes sense. But yeah, there's a spicy, slightly herbaceous kind of floral aspect. It smells really light, but pretty fucking good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Thanks again to Cameron. Yeah, that's fucking bone dry. They weren't lying. Oh my God. Sometimes you read a label, you see what they're saying, and you just don't anticipate it. And this is one of those times where I'm drinking, I'm like, oh, this is really nice. And all of a sudden that dryness, it's like, yeah, all the characters just got ripped right off my tongue. This is insanely drinkable and crushable. Wow, this is nice. Body, higher side of light body, lower side of medium, but more, I'd say higher side of light. It is lighter. Not watery, it's just lighter. 5.1%, you kind of expect that, especially considering the style. Mouthfeel, insanely. I wanted to say both insanely and incredibly, and I just said, what did I say? Incredibly? Jesus Christ. Incredibly crisp, effervescent on the palate. Like, it's spritzy. It's so crisp. You know, people say, oh, it's a crispy boy. This is a crispy boy beyond belief. Very crisp. Quite smooth and very clean as well. The taste, again, it's very reminiscent of a Helles lager from the malt standpoint, right? It's bready, it's grainy, it's biscuity. I mean, that rice is doing its job. In addition to that, it just has like a sweeter kind of malt note to it, sweeter grain note, and that's omnipresent. It's the predominant note, to be honest with you. About third of the way, halfway through the palate, the fruitiness hits. Again, orchard fruit, pear, apple, more of the skin or towards maybe the core. It's not like a sweetness. It's just kind of the flavor of pear apple without like the sweetness. It has that lemon lime kind of zippiness to it, a zesty, almost pithy kind of quality. Same thing with a touch of like a white grapefruit. And then it finishes with a spicy, herbaceous, kind of floral hop character. Bone dry, very mild bitterness, not really bitter. You know what, I say almost no bitterness, but the dryness is so substantial. You have no issues with this one from a balanced perspective because that dryness balances everything out in the finish. And I actually dig this despite the fact that I've mentioned this I don't know how many times before on my channel, but I do not love like super dry beers. Like typically a beer like this in almost any other style, I'd be like, it's kind of ruining the experience. It's not, it's enhancing this one. This is, I could drink a lot of these. 5.1%, you can't tell. This is extremely well done. I'm going to go over a sip because I'm between two ratings. Got to be honest, right? This is a beer that, you know, it's a style I've had before, right? Like Asahi is like the big one that I've had before. I got to review it at some point. I think Sapporo does like a version of it too. It might... I don't know if it gets distro here. I just remember having Asahi. I've had others like on tap from local breweries and, you know, other breweries when I've been there before. But you don't see it a lot, like I said, packaged, certainly in cans. So it's cool that they not only made one, but then they threw it in cans and, you know, sold this beer to the public because I think this is damn tasty. Stylistically, of what I've had, this is like a 4.5, 4.6. Like, this is great. Honestly, this is great. My personal preference, because it's not my favorite style, I'm still going to give it a pretty fucking high score, honestly. So rice, Japanese style dry lager, aka a Japanese rice lager from Roaring Table. My first beer, great impression. Low 4.25 and go 4.2. Didn't think I'd say that. Here we are. I think the Motueka with that little zippy like lemon lime thing, or just I guess lime, typically Motueka, but it's more lemon lime in this one. Really nice. The Saz with that spicy herbaceous kind of floral finish. I just love the complex malt character of this one. It is really, really nice. Yeah. Anyway, and I think the label too, like the color scheme, just does it for me. I don't know. Anyway, price point. Cameron said $11 for a pack all fucking day long. That's a good price point. Yeah, you know, $11 nowadays for a 5%, you know, lager that's, you know, not from the States, like like American adjunct or American lager. They're not always 10, 11, 12 bucks, so it's nice that this is $11 a 4-pack, and availability, I have no idea with Roaring Table. I've heard of Roaring Table before. These are the first two beers I'm trying from them. This is a great first impression. I'm really happy Cameron sent me a couple beers from them, but also like two vastly different beers. You got a Japanese style, basically rice lager, and then on top of that, he sends me a California style a double IPA, which is essentially a new school West Coast IPA. So I'm here for it. So check out the review of that bar and grill that I'm going to be doing later from Roaring Table. But even if that beer doesn't live up to what I'm hoping it is, this was a good first impression. I want to try more from them, so really cool. So once again, huge thanks to Cameron. If you've had this beer before, post in the comment section. Like I said, 5.1%, you really can't tell. I'm going to go drink the rest of this probably in like 5 or 10 minutes and feel pretty good about it. And then come back a little bit later and review another one, although you're going to see these, again, in the same day. I'm reviewing them in the same day, but it's be a couple hours before I get to that double IPA. To the next one. Cheers.